Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to be working on the secret garden. I call it the not so secret garden because it can still be seen from the inside out and the outside in. So it's not really a secret, but that will change when we are able to get more walls up on either side. If you are new here, my name is Tina and I'm with Dirt Therapy Gardens in eastern Nebraska, Zone 6A, where I share my gardening, garden cooking, and other miscellaneous hardscaping and landscaping projects. I am doing voiceovers. I have changed to voiceovers simply because we've got planes, trains, and automobiles that can be heard throughout all of my videos. And unless you want to hear dogs barking and lawn equipment, I figured this is the best thing to do. If we ever find an acreage where we have no city noise, I will definitely be happy. Here is the secret garden. I have a bench area over here. I've also got some clematis that are growing up here, but I am going to at least take care of the debris that is laying around in this whole section. I have that red shovel, I have my garden tools, everything is just a mess in here. I really am just going to plan on cleaning it up and making it look beautiful in here. I am not going to take care of all of the leaf debris underneath the roses because I do believe in protecting the beneficial bugs and I don't want to disrupt them. But I am going to take care of all of the leaves and debris that are laying on the top of the rock. Now that I have all of the things that I need, except for my leather glove falling into the garbage can, I I am ready to go. And these are wonderful garden gloves. I got them for Christmas from my son, and I am super excited to try them out. They are leather gloves that go all the way up to my elbows so I can handle the thorns on the roses that are a size of a semi truck. They are extremely large thorns, and I even have to tell my grandson to stay away from the thorns because I do not want him to get hurt by those. So first I'm just taking care of where I have his cherry tomato plants every year. It is a tradition that I grow cherry tomatoes and he tends to them. He waters them, he picks them and watches them until they turn red and are ready to go. It's just really sweet that he wants to be involved in gardening with me. I've been having him involved since he was a little thing, maybe 2 years old. And so he's really grown into loving the garden and loving helping me out. Another thing that I had planted around the cherry tomatoes was marigolds. And I have scattered the seeds last fall, would take them out of their pod and then just sprinkle them back in. But I'm going to do that again just now while I'm cleaning it out, and I'm just showing you the seeds and what they look like. So now I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle them back in. There isn't anything that you really need to do with marigolds. They are very easy and they are pest and deer resistant. So it really helps with adding marigolds around your garden items because it will deter some pests that are more likely to eat your stuff. If I can find a way to keep these squash bugs away from pumpkins, I would definitely be planting those again this summer. However, we had such a huge infestation of squash bugs and left-footed bugs that it I lost the battle. I decided this year I was not going to plant pumpkins or squash because of the infestation. Just terrible. I'm disappointed because I really love growing zucchini. That is one of my favorite things to eat. However, it's not worth the battle, and I'll just go ahead and succumb to buying it at the grocery store. Our weather this year has been fairly mild, with a couple spells of sub zero temperatures. However, the rain and snowfall has been a lot less than in past years. In our area, we should be getting around 30 inches of snow average a year, and we've only had roughly 10 inches in total. And our first snowstorm was in mid February. So it's just been recent where we have received any type of moisture. You'll see that I'm putting a lot of the yard waste in this brown can. Currently, that is our yard waste bin that we can put in. We live in the suburbs, so this is typically how we would take care of a large amount of yard waste. However, once I get the composting area set up and ready to go, then all of this debris will eventually make it into the composting area. By the way, these gloves work amazing. In this pile, there are rose cuttings and they have tons of thorns on them, and I can't feel anything as I'm working on putting all of these branches and leaves in the yard waste can. So I'm very pleased with the gloves that I have. Here I wanted to show you there are some swells or the nodes of the roses. I haven't even cut these. These were cut a couple months ago. I and it's amazing how I have little swells on them. So I am going to try to propagate some more of these roses by cutting them down and putting them into some dirt. I'm getting excited. I want to try it and see if it actually works. I know that many people out there propagate roses. I have never tried it myself, so I'm super excited to try it. I mean, what do I have to lose by trying it? So I have a couple other branches that I'm just kind of inspecting to see if there are any of them that would work. If you have propagated roses before, please leave some comments on tips and tricks because I would love to hear your comments. Future plans for the secret garden is to build walls on the east and west side of the trellis. So if you're facing, the back wall is the north side of the secret garden, and the arbor that I'm walking through is the south side. So we would like to put up walls kind of like the back wall of the secret garden, put it more on the sides instead of that wrought iron fencing that we have here. But that is definitely a project that can come at a later time. I would like to have climbing flowers such as a hydrangea vine. I've heard some really good things about those. Or any other type of clematis. I just do not want to go for roses again because of the thorns. I want my grandson to be able to come and enjoy this space with us, whether we're just sitting and having a cup of cocoa or tea, whatever we're doing. I want him to be able to feel comfortable in this space. We did have more of the arborvitaes in this section, but they didn't survive. I don't know why just four of them survived and not all of them. The whole area, when we originally created the secret garden in late 2022, was all trees. That was what the we were going to use as our privacy to enclose the secret garden. But unfortunately, some trees just didn't make it. Not sure why. I think it was because they didn't have as much of a root system. These were those arborvitae trees that you can get pretty much at the big box stores that you can buy quite a few for a very cheap price. And I think that the root systems weren't substantial enough to be able to handle the change, especially that this was done in the summer. And so when they were planted at a more volatile time of the year. We do get humidity and we get heat. So it is really hot during the summer. That is when we love to dip into our pool and just cool off after a hard day in the garden areas. Now I'm just blowing all of the rest of the leaves out. You wouldn't believe how dirty and how many leaves were in my little mini greenhouse. We originally had this small brick area. It was an old fire pit, and it's in such great shape. My husband built it, gosh, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, and I didn't want to get rid of it. So I had him build me a little mini greenhouse that has old windows, and we painted it. And it's really something that is just a fun little detail in here. I am going to be painting it the same color as the greenhouse, so there will be a small makeover in this area as well. And right now, I'm just trying to get all the debris out. I cannot believe how much collected in there, so I'm really trying to get that cleaned out. He also built the structure for the roses around that brick and mini greenhouse to make it fit more streamlined for what we were looking for. And I absolutely love this space. I wish I would use it more. We do have our little bird feeder up at the top, which is a camera, and it works out wonderfully. You can see all the birds coming into this area. So now I am going to call it good on this. I think it looks great. I left the leaves over by the roses alone. I cleaned up the mini greenhouse. And I know that I could probably have put some cleaner on the peacock table, but it is supposed to snow and rain again, so there was no point in cleaning it at this point. I love how it looks. It looks nice and clean, so much better. And we're going to be starting off spring on the right foot. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Have a great garden day.